She got her university education at the University of London and in the UK, and later attended business school at the HEC Paris in France, where she bagged her MBA in strategic marketing and was the recipient of the HEC Paris Scholarship for Excellence. She is trilingual. She speaks English, French, and Yoruba. Coach Barakat is a co-founder and the CTO at Barakat Technologies Limited. She works with startups to bring their apps idea to life and also works with business owners to build the custom software required to seamlessly run their businesses. In addition, she works with startups and businesses to craft their digital marketing strategies and attract customers. So welcome with me, Barakat Awoyemi, as she explained to us, it's not everything that we code in tech. There are some aspects that we don't need to code. So Barakat will be putting us through that. And if we have any questions, we can put them in the comment section. Over to you, Barakat.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so sorry. My voice is a bit cracked. I'm just recovering from a very, very bad cough. So please just try and bear with me. Thank you. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Okay. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, you can.
It's not allowing me. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Sorry, please, just to confirm, what are you seeing on my screen?
How women can lead the
Okay,
next.
great. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for the invitation, Madam Teresa, and the Mom in Tech Global Conference team. So today I'll be talking about how women can lead the next tech revolution. And I'd like to emphasize the fact that you don't need to feel that you cannot do it because maybe you did not study anything tech related at the university, or maybe because you don't have any formal education in that area. So I'm going to be emphasizing that a lot during my presentation. So before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Barakat Awoyemi. I'm a Google certified UX designer, certified no-code software developer, a certified digital marketer. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I've been married for over 13 years now. I got my university education at the University of London in the UK. I graduated with the first class honors, and much later I got my MBA. HOC is what we call it in French, but for English speakers, we call it HEC Paris. I speak English, French, and Yoruba, and I'm a co-founder and the CTO at Barakat Technologies Limited. Sorry, I just like to confirm, can you hear me? Because my voice is a bit cracked.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, I'm very passionate about three things. Number one is family life. Number two is tech. And number three is financial empowerment, especially for women. Okay. So during my presentation, I'm going to be talking about why skills matter more today than at any time in history. So while education is good, I'm educated myself, but skills are, in quotes, more important. Of course, that doesn't mean that we should not go to school. We should go to school, but what I'm saying is your skills are what can really prove what you're able to do, right? Because you can have all this education, and at the end of the day, you cannot solve problems. You cannot apply what you've learned, to solving people's problems. So that will just make you irrelevant. So skills are very, very key, right? And I also talk about why you should not feel impaired by your lack of formal education. I met somebody not too long ago who told me that she did not finish her ONT, and she felt that she needed to go back to school to be able to start a career in tech. And while it is not bad to go back to school, I had to explain to her that to do something about her financial situation, she could do the two at the same time. I also talk about how tech has changed my life personally and how it will change yours as well as a woman, how you can earn in US dollars right from your base in Nigeria. And I'll also be talking about how to get started on the journey to financial freedom. Now, before I start talking about this, I want to just, talk about one or two things. One of the reasons I'm very passionate about financial empowerment, especially for women. I have heard so many stories. I'm sure some of you hear them on social media too. One day I was scrolling through my feed and I saw this pastor talking about a woman. The husband was beating her, and after the man will beat her, the man will tell her to go and face naughty corner and raise up her hand. So when this woman later met the pastor, she explained to Handy, and the pastor asked why she had to put up with that for 6 years, because she'd been married for 6 years. And she said because she did not have any money of her own. She said her husband was the one who was even taking care of her parents, right? When you don't have money, even if you are married to, especially when you are married to a man who is not good, you're just going to complicate your life because you have to rely on that person. Now, even if your husband is a good man, having your own money as a woman is also going to help you when it comes to adding value to your family. So it really has nothing to do with, let's even take marriage aside, even though I know we're all moms here, and I'm addressing an audience of married women. But even if you were not married, as an adult, it is your right to make money, right? It is your right to make money. I don't believe that God created anyone to live their lives depending on other people, right? You want to buy tomatoes, you have to call somebody. You want to buy onions, it is not good. And I believe that God has given every one of us what we can use to make money. So that's what I just wanted to say. So this is something I'm very passionate about. I like for women to have their own money, right? So with that said, I'd like to go to my first topic for today. So why skills matter more today than at any other time? Now, the internet is a blessing to humanity. It has removed the borders of commerce. What does that mean? You can sit down in your house in Lagos, Nigeria, and do business with somebody in Australia, somebody you have never met physically. You can do business with them, solve their problem, and get paid without ever seeing them. One day I was it was one of my children's birthdays. So we had just relocated back to Nigeria. So I didn't know how to get cake for my son's birthday. So I was now looking around and I saw this woman who lives, not too far from where I live. I saw her on Google My Business. She makes cake. So I just called and I placed the order for the cake and I made payment for the cake. And 2 days later, my cake was at our estate gate. So I had to, go and pick the cake. But this is somebody that, even up till today, this was some years back. I've never seen this woman. I don't know what she looks like, but I've bought so many cakes from her. That is what the internet has done for us now. Now, when it comes to making money, I always tell people something. Nobody is going to just dash you. How will I explain it? If you approach someone to say you need help, maybe you have a problem in your life, well, you don't have the right to tell the person, give me this amount of money, right? You can't tell somebody, I need help, give me 2 million. You don't have any right to say that. If the person chooses to help you, he's going to help you because he feels like helping you. And it is at his discretion to decide how much money he wants to give you. You don't get to tell people what to give you. Okay. Now, the good thing about solving problems for people is you can say, you know what, this is how much money I want to earn in exchange for solving this problem for you, right? So when you offer value to people, you have the right to say, I want to charge so and so amount of money. Now, you and the person can negotiate, but the final price you agree on is something you have to agree to. In other words, the other person cannot just give you any amount he feels like giving you. That is why it is very important for you to have the power to solve people's problems. Because you see, money flows in the direction of value. That is how it is. That is how it was. That is how it is. That is how it will always be. So if you want to be in a position where you can earn money, you have to have value to offer. It is very key. And that value comes in the form of skills. Now, technology has made it so easy to make money. And a lot of people say to me, I don't know how to code. I don't want to learn how to code. Well, you don't need to learn how to code. And I'm talking more about that during this presentation. So I want you to look at it, as I go through this discussion, right? Through the eyes of you being in a position to solve people's problems. It's as simple as that. I have a client. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. My client is based in Coventry, in the UK. How did we meet? I have never seen him. He has never seen me. He saw my ad on Instagram and he sent me a message and said, when I saw your ad, I felt you were talking to me, right? So he called me immediately and he paid me 1.5 million naira that same day for what he wanted me to do for him. As I'm still talking to you today, I have never seen him. I've delivered the project to him. He has referred other clients to me. That is what, now this man now, somebody I don't know from anywhere, is it possible for me to go to a stranger and say, come and give me 1.5 million? No. But he paid the money because I was going to solve a problem for him. And the internet made it possible. Because think about it, how is it possible for me to sit down in my house in Lagos, Nigeria, and somebody in Coventry is calling me to solve a problem for him? The internet has removed the borders of commerce, regardless of where you are. Once you have the skill, you can solve people's problems and get paid, right? So, now, another thing I want to say to you is this. I don't want you to have the mentality of, I didn't study tech, or I don't know anything about tech, or maybe I didn't school abroad, or maybe I don't know this. Look, you don't need to school abroad. I have a friend who did not even finish his university education and is making good money from tech. So please, I want you to take that, what's it called now? That limitation away from your mind. You see, the greatest power you have is the power of your mind. Your success in life, okay, starts from your mind. Your mentality matters a lot. So whatever you think is a disadvantage because you think that thing is going to stop you. You are the one that is giving things the power to stop you. You have a lot of power, more than you can ever imagine. So please get that mentality of your mind, that you cannot launch a career in tech because you don't have a formal education. Like our previous speakers have mentioned, I mean, come on, there are so many courses online that you can take, that you can learn from, and you can start to develop skills from. So that's one thing that I want to say. Now, for even those who went to school, right? Many of us did not study something tech. For example, I did not study software development at the university. Even though I did coding in school, I learned coding in school and all that, but I did not study it as the course I went to study at the university, right? But it is up to you to be determined, to be consistent, to have a solutions mindset, okay? So once you have all of this in place, then you can now put yourself in a situation where you can build solutions for people. Now, I told somebody not too long ago that when I met my husband 15 years ago, there was no WhatsApp, right? So back in those days, he and I would talk by SMS when I was at work. And sometimes I want to send a picture just to show my mood. And then I'll have to go into my email, take a picture, then scan it. So many, many times it got too much for me. I'll just send an SMS. Now, look at what WhatsApp is doing for us now. Look at what WhatsApp is doing for us. I can send as many pictures as I want by WhatsApp, but there was no WhatsApp then. WhatsApp has made communication much easier, okay? You can relate with people more easily. When I was at the university in England many years ago, anytime I called my parents back home, I used a calling card. Back in those days, it is calling cards you buy to call home. Now, what's the meaning of that? Just go on WhatsApp and make a video call. You're not spending money. That is what technology has done. So technology is always making our lives easier. And the same applies to app development, right? In the past, you needed to know how to code to develop apps. Well, with technological advancement, we now have no code. And with no code, you can build apps, even if you cannot code. You can build apps without writing a single line of code. But I'll talk more about how that works soon. So I want to share my story with you about how I got started with the no-code space, right? So, so I studied chemical engineering, and like I said, we used coding a lot then. So that's when I learned how to code. Now, years later, when I got married, and my husband and I are into real estate development, right? So we had challenges at a point because, as our portfolio increased, it became a headache to manage tenants. Property managers were taking advantage of us. And sometimes it was confusing to know which tenant's rent is due, which one is not due, and all that. So I knew that I needed to build a solution. But I was doing my MBA in France at that time, and I could not, start building solution the way I knew to build it. So one time we had a project in school then. We used a programming language called R to do our marketing analytics project. So when I went to submit my project, I saw one of my friends, my Italian friends, who was very angry and said, we spent too much time on this project. We could have used no code. So I thought to myself, which one is no code again? So he told me that we can, build a product without using code. I'd never heard about it. So I went to my room that night and I went to research it. And I discovered that this guy was, saying the truth. There was actually something like using no code to build apps. So I decided, okay, let me use no code to build this solution that we needed for our real estate business. So since I knew how to code, I assumed that if it's no code, then it's going to be so easy. And I discovered I could not, I could not do anything. So I had to go and learn how to use no code to build apps. And I discovered that even though you're not coding, you still have to apply programming skills, right? There's still programming involved where you think about your conditionals, loops, etc., database structure, all those things you do in coding you do. But the only difference between the code and no code is that the no code platform has already been built with code. So you're only just to go there and do your programming. So yeah, that's how I really got into this no code space. And I discovered that it was easier, it was faster to build products from scratch using no code. Now, as a woman, you don't need to know how to code to earn in US dollars from Nigeria. Even if it's not US dollars, any currency you want, even if it is Naira, you can build apps for people without needing to know how to code. Now, apart from building apps, there are other no-code careers in tech, like our previous speaker rightly mentioned. For example, UX design does not require code, right? Digital marketing is a tech skill. Also, it's one of the tech skills that can qualify you for a the UK Tech Talent Visa. Digital marketing is recognized as a tech skill. So these are some of the skills that you can learn, skills that will get you clients from abroad. Now, these skills are very important because startups need them. So a startup, for example, will always need an app, right, to launch out. Business owners need custom software to launch out. Now, before you build these apps, you need UX designers, right, who are going to design what the product is going to look like. You need digital marketers who are going to help you to get customers, to get subscribers. Because you see, building the app is one thing, having subscribers is another. Okay. Now, the advantage that you have when you are based in Africa is that, let me give an example. So if somebody from abroad wants to build an app, somebody in the US might charge maybe 10,000 US dollars to build the app. Somebody from Africa might charge maybe 5K, 4K. Now, it's a win-win because the person looking to hire you is saving money, okay? And you, because of the exchange rate, you feel that the 4K is, the 4K is still okay for you. So as long as you have your skills and you know how to position yourself, you will get clients like this. And like I mentioned before, you don't need to learn how to code to achieve this. Because let's be honest, not everybody can learn how to code. Coding is not an easy thing to learn. Okay, so you can still enjoy all the goodies that tech will afford you without necessarily, knowing how to code. Now that I've said all of this, the question now is, how can you get started? Maybe learning any of these skills or, building a career in tech without needing to learn how to code. Now, the first thing is you have to be sure that you want to learn this. Because I have met people who will come to me and say, I want to learn, I want to learn. By the time they start, they've read about something else again. Some of them will say they've read about crypto. It's crypto they want to do now. So they are not really focused. As they are learning the crypto, they are saying they want to go and learn Forex. So you need to be determined. You need to be determined. I read a quote somewhere during this week, and the quote was saying something like, it is not your intelligence that makes you stand out. It's your ability to stay consistent. Because most people don't know how to stay consistent. They want to try something today, drop it today, and tomorrow they want to do something else. Next tomorrow, they want to do something else. If you do that, you're just catching your energy and you will not get any valuable results from what you want to do. Okay. So you need to make up your mind if this is something you really want to do. And you also need to make up your mind that you are going to put your all into it. I think one of the speakers said something about how, this thing takes a process. You can't start today, for example, and tomorrow you want to become an expert. It doesn't work that way. Okay. Good things take time. Good things take time. So you need to be sure that you really want to do this. Now, for you to have a taste of if you really want to do this, I would suggest you go online, register for maybe small courses. Maybe if you want to do UX, for example, you might want to look for a course that doesn't really go into too much depth, but maybe just the elementary stages, so you have a feel for what it's all about to decide if this is what you want to do. Okay, so I usually advise that you do this for the different aspects that you might be interested in to really be sure that, okay, this is something that I think I might want to do. And then when you try these, small courses, and you can compare the different ones, okay, the different skills, then you can now decide, okay, maybe I want to go for UX design, or maybe, okay, I want to go for no code app development, or maybe it is, technical writing I want to go for, or digital marketing. You have an idea of what you really want to specialize in. Okay. So that is, so once you've made up your mind, then you can now go deeper to learn. Now, one mistake I see people making is they are looking for free things. Now, of course, there are free courses online that you can explore, but sometimes some things might be difficult for you to understand on your own, and you might want to explore going for paid courses. Okay, paid courses that can give you some, personal one-on-one leverage. So I would suggest that, okay, as you try to develop your skills and to deepen your understanding of whatever it is that you've decided to do. So let me just talk briefly about no-code app development, because this is what I do. So so with no-code app development, like I said, it's a technological advancement in app development, okay, which does not require you to write lines of code for you to build an app. And something people usually ask me is this: will a no-code platform scale as my business grows? The answer is yes, it will scale. It will scale. There is a company in the US called Dividend Finance. It's one of the biggest fintech companies now. They built their app with no code. I can give you so many examples of apps that have been built with no code. That's even a fintech platform. They've done over $1 billion in transactions. Now, no code platforms were built with code. Anything that a coded platform can do, a no code platform can do. Okay. Of course, there are some skills that have to go into the app development to ensure that the app scales, it does not start running slow and all of that. But if you think that no code cannot scale, you've believed a very big lie. No code apps can scale. Many of them were built with Java. Okay. Also, your no-code apps can be visually appealing. They can be scalable, like I said. They can grow with your business as your business grows. Now, another thing is, so many businesses have so many softwares that they use, right, to run their businesses. So they have software 1 they pay for every month, software 2, software 3. So no-code also helps businesses to build custom software. So you have everything you need in one place, right, that you can use for your internal processes. So not only startups use no code to launch their apps, even businesses use they use no code to build the apps that they need. Okay. Another good thing is you can integrate AI to build any kind of product. Any kind of product. One of my children built an app not too long ago. The app, what it does is that when you type something, maybe you type a godly virtue like patience, for example, it will generate a story that children can read that will teach them why patience is good. The purpose of the app is to teach children godly stories, to teach them moral virtues. So if you put something about patience, to give you a story. If you type something in about, being hardworking, you will bring out a story. He did that with no code and AI. So no code has democratized app development. When you know how to build apps this way, even if you have a startup idea, you can sit down on your own to build your app. You can build your app. That's going to save you money, especially when you're trying to launch your startup. I know I have a client now. The man, he lives in Kenya. So there's a program that I do in my company when we coach startup founders to build their apps by themselves. This man had hired 2 developers before coming to us. So the first time you hire them, they'll build the app, they'll ask for more money. By the end of the day, he doesn't have any money left to now push the app out there. Sometimes when he wants them to make adjustments with the app, they ask for more money. So he decided to just come and learn how to do it on his own. That is an example of what you will be saving yourself when you know how to build an app. You can launch your app out there, right? Test product market fit, iterate also, and grow your app without needing to hire an external developer. So there's a lot you can do with this skill. So I want to encourage every woman listening to me today. It is good to be a wife. It is good to be a mom. But I also want you to think about something. I don't think you want to look back at the end of your life and wonder what you did, apart from being a wife and being a mom. When you are successful in your own right, even your husband and your children will be very proud of you. You can be financially independent. You can add value to others, starting from your household. You can be a blessing to others. It also boosts your self-esteem, knowing that you are solving people's problems, that you have a skill that you can offer to solve people's problems, to address their pain points. So please, like our first speaker, I learned a lot from what she taught us this morning about how you can balance it all. It is very, very possible. In my home, I have about 4 people who work in my house, because I cannot be the one sweeping the house, mopping and doing all those things. And I want to build a business. It is not realistic. It always helps to get help. Our children, they have lesson teachers who help them. Even though my husband and I also get involved, but we have help. Please try and get help so you can build your life too. It is very, very helpful to have money. Everything is not money, but you don't want a case where you can't even point to anything that you are doing with your own life. So please, to all the moms in the house, God will continue to help us. But it is something we can do. You can build a good career, you can make good money, and your marriage doesn't have to suffer because of it. Your relationship with your children also doesn't have to suffer because of it. Imagine a friend coming to you. Maybe your friend has a financial problem. Do you want to have to go to your husband every single time? Or maybe you want to do something for your parents. Do you want to have to go and ask your husband? So I want us to really think and be motivated to develop ourselves and to build very good careers. And my personal belief is that tech is one of the best ways to build a profitable career, a career that will do you good and put good money in your pocket. So thank you very much. I think I've spoken for 24 minutes.